Hey guys. Okay, so today we're going to answer the question, should I lodge my own DA, so my own town planning application? See, people are often rather surprised when I turn around and say, technically, you can. You don't need to be a qualified town planner and you don't need the town planning degree to be able to lodge your own town planning applications. However, the question more importantly is, do you want to and should you? So, what do I mean by that? Well, more often than not, design professionals out there, you started down this career path because you're a creative person. You want to create beautiful houses and homes for people to live in. You don't want to be sitting there spending hours upon hours writing technical town planning reports, doing 200-page code assessment documents. Like, I'm sure that's not your idea of fun. So most of the time, if you're a building designer, you want to free yourself up to be able to focus on your creative outlets and designs and all that sort of stuff. When it comes to the should you, I often say to people, I technically could service my own car. I could technically represent myself in court, but that ain't the best idea. Like, I could literally sit there and spend hours, if not weeks or months, on YouTube learning how to service my car or represent myself in court. Number one, ain't nobody got time for that sort of stuff. I need to earn income. I need to pay some bills. So I need some money coming in the door. I don't have the luxury of spending that time on a hobby. And more importantly, the chances of me actually getting something wrong are pretty high. Now, I had the best example of this last week. So I had a client come to me. They engaged me to do their town planning application. And then the building designer got involved. And the building designer has a reputation, let's just say, for wanting to do their own town planning applications, which I'm totally cool with. But yeah, they basically came to me and said, but hold on a sec, why are we triggering here? And what's triggering there? And what's that for? And I'm like, okay, let me fill you in. So recently, council's clarified that the front of the house is not the one that looks like the front, so the one where the pedestrian access, vehicle access, all of those factors we used to consider. It's now based on what the primary frontage is. So the rear is the opposite to the primary frontage. And the primary frontage, by definition, is the frontage that most houses in the block face. So yeah, what you think is the rear of the house is technically the side of the house, which means that extension of what you thought was the rear is not exempt under the character requirements. Yeah, I hate to break it to you. By the way, yeah, what you thought was the primary frontage, yeah, it's actually the secondary frontage for the small lot purposes. So yeah, you got 3 metre setback instead of a 1.5 metre setback. There's a few other things, you get the idea. Basically, because we live and breathe this stuff, we understand the nitty gritty, the loopholes, the technicalities, all of that sort of stuff, because we're doing it literally day in, day out. So we could provide further clarification on what those rules and requirements are. Now, there's a misconception, or a lot of people out there think that, oh, but if the certifier signs off on it, I'm sweet. I've heard through multiple sources recently that insurers are turning around and saying, well, if the certifier gets pinged for doing work that should have had a town planning application, that insurer is going to go after the building designer's insurance. Because technically, and I personally don't agree with this, I'm going to put that out there, but technically speaking, the legislation is written in a way that the building designer is responsible for identifying any town planning triggers and any other triggers like relaxations and all that sort of stuff to the certifier when they engage that certifier. So yeah, the certifier's insurance can turn around and go, well, hold on a sec, you guys didn't identify these triggers, etc., etc. You open yourself up to a world of risk. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, going back to the original point, can you lodge your own DA? Yes, but do you want to spend your time doing all that technical stuff? And are you opening yourself up to a risk factor there that's unnecessary? You get where I'm trying to go here. Okay, I think that covers off everything I wanted to say today. As I always say, until next time, thanks for watching.
For all you red tape lovers out there, I have one thing to say. Well, no, actually, I've got 3. Number 1, the advice provided in these videos is general in nature. It's not site-specific. You would be a silly Billy to go and make financial decisions based on this advice without first checking with the town planner. Don't be a silly Billy. Number 2, Brisbane town planning is in no way linked to Brisbane City Council. The views expressed in these videos are my own, not council's. So if you don't like them, blame me, not council. Number 3, what was my number 3? Oh yeah, the views expressed in these videos are accurate at the time of recording. If you're watching this video back 10 years from now, the views may not be so accurate. That's all. Bye.